Hello everyone, this is Avenue and today we're going to go over Star Wars Hunters Season 2 patch notes posted on their website. And for those wondering, this is definitely what my voice in real life sounds like. Teehee. In all seriousness, I need to buy an actual microphone, but I wanted to get on here and go over what's to come with this new season dropping August 1st. I am excited to see what patches we will be getting for certain hunters, a brand new hunter called K-AOS, and also a brand new map called Vader's Castle, which is of course located on Mustafar. I'm actually about to splooge my pantaloons just thinking about this. Clean up on aisle me. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm family friendly by the way. So getting on the Star Wars Hunters news section on their website, let's take in the beauty of these Imperial Empire skins they got on the hunters here. My favorite has to be Sentinel. Buddy looks like a death trooper. And if we take a look to the far left side, we see our new hunter K-A0S, who is a KX security droid. And this droid may look familiar to you if you've seen the only good Disney Star Wars movie, Rogue One. The character K-AOS in that movie is the same droid type as our new hunter, so that's exciting to see a version of that droid return to Star Wars media, and especially as a playable character. A little trivia and lore if you didn't already know, but our hairy Wookiee Grozz has been using the arms of K-A0S as improvised clubs when he beats on other hunters, so there's obviously some beef between them, and for good reason. If someone ripped off my arms and started using them as batons, I wouldn't be so thrilled myself. From now on, I will refer to the new hunter as K-AOS because this game loves making the robot's abbreviations into actual words, which I find funny but annoying to translate in a text-to-speech. Enough yapping. K-AOS will be available through the Season 2 Arena Pass, which looks like the same way that players had to unlock the Mandalorian hunter Aran Tal in Season 1. I honestly have no clue if you could unlock Aran Tal by not buying the Premium Battle Pass, which is what I did towards the start of the season. So expect to have to pay for the new Battle Pass to unlock the new hunter. I know it's not ideal for a lot of players, especially considering the game is free, and they should at least make it so you can grind to unlock this character. But please tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, because this is what it seems like to me. Now I'm just going to read out the description of K-AOS and what to expect for their abilities. K-AOS arrives in the arena. Her enhanced armaments take the brutality of the Empire's KX series security droid to a whole new level. It's important to note that she identifies as female and misgendering her might lead to getting cancelled, so put some respect on our new queen, and as a man I acknowledge who my superiors are. K-AOS can use the Bulwark ability, connecting her shields to protect herself and allies while also providing ranged support with her blaster. Don't let K-AOS get too close, otherwise she will close the gap with her lunge uppercut before backhanding enemies away. Her ultimate ability, Aftershock, damages and knocks upwards all enemies around her, making them easy targets for allies to eliminate. As a formidable tank, K-AOS can push her team forward to victory. So for me, reading this description, we are basically getting Ronda Rousey as our new hunter, so I can't wait. It is confirmed to be a new tank-type hunter, which makes me wonder if we'll see Sentinel mains switch over to using K-AOS more and see how she stacks up against the rest. Her abilities sound exactly like Sentinel's shield he uses while being able to shoot at enemies, and also copying his knockback ability if opponents get too close. But it looks like she doesn't have a stun ability, so Sentinel probably has the upper hand there. Her ultimate sounds like Anakin's fourth ability in EA's Battlefront 2, Retribution, where he chokes all enemies surrounding him, and his teammates can shoot at them while they're being held up in the air. So good stuff all around. I think she'll be a good substitute for all the Sentinel players out there, but honestly we're probably just going to see a Sentinel and K-AOS duo every game. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Sorry, just had to. Her ultimate and shield ability do sound a lot better than what Sentinel has, so we'll see how that pans out. Alright, moving on to the patch notes for the hunters, let's see what balance changes we will be getting as well. In my opinion, most of the hunters in this game have been balanced extremely well, with a couple outliers being Sentinel as the all-around best hunter in the game. I mean, read the room, every high-tier ranked game always has a Sentinel, and most of the top players exclusively play with him, give or take a Reeve or Skora. And the most underwhelming hunter to me and most players would be Sprocket. Little buddy just doesn't have the DPS or healing factor to compete with other healers like Skora or even Zaina. Starting off here, we have a weapon damage buff to a Marvex, with her main rifle being increased in damage from 12 to 13 health points. This is definitely a buff in the right direction for Amara, as she was pretty lackluster in DPS compared to other damage hunters. But this increase seems very insignificant with only a 1 damage increase. Maybe with her rate of fire this would be more substantial once we start playing with her, but I feel like a couple extra points would be beneficial. When I would play with Amara, it feels almost impossible at times to kill a Grozz or Char with just her rifle, but the combo rocket ability she has does help a lot. Now onto the man of the hour, Sentinel. We have a much needed nerf to him as we all expected. His suppressing shot knockdown duration will be nerfed from 2.2 seconds down to 2 seconds at levels 1 through 5, and down from previously 2.7 seconds to a whopping 2.3 seconds at level 6. This might not seem like a lot in retrospect, but if you think about how fast-paced this game is and how every second does actually matter, this seems like a good nerf considering every time I get knocked down by him when I'm playing someone like Utuni or Diago, I basically stop playing and wait for the respawn screen to come up. His suppressing shot heat consumption rate will also be getting a nerf, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this is basically how many shots you can fire as him after you use his suppressing shot knockdown ability, before you have to reload /vent of course. So the level 1 and 2 ability has an increase from 25 to 30, a level 3 and 4 will be increased from 20 to 25, and finally level 5 through 6 is 15 to 20. So his suppressing shot has taken a beating with this nerf, but honestly that was a very annoying ability to have to constantly deal with. Once you get hit with this, you're briefly taken out of the fight and almost always dead, especially if his whole squad is taking turns stomping on you while you're on the ground. Brings me back to my high school days, honestly. And the final nerf for him will be, you guessed it, his combat shield. A level 1 shield will only have 250 HP down from 275, level 2 through 5 shield down from 300 to 275, and a level 6 shield is down to 300 from previously 325. This is definitely much needed, as I basically had to ignore a Sentinel when he had his shield up when I'm playing someone like Xayna or Diago, as I know I won't be able to DPS it down enough to start taking on his base health. That's why I always try to take angles on him from above or behind to take him out. Well, the game devs really came for this man on these nerfs, but it's no surprise considering how good of a tank he was this season and for every game mode. Some might even argue this wasn't enough, but me personally, I think it's going to be a great game balance for him going forward. Now let's talk about the paywall. I mean Aran Tal with his upcoming buffs this season. This is a hunter I honestly thought wouldn't be touched as his movement and frag potential is quite good, so I did not expect this at all. His overall weapon damage is increased from 10 to 12 hit points. His weapon spread and weapon recoil will also be decreased, so expect to be more accurate and have your shots land on your target more often when you play him. This is a buff I expected to see more so for Amara and not for Aran Tal, if I'm being honest. I think this will make Aran Tal go from a decent hunter to an above-average hunter in my opinion. I thought he was already very useful and tactical in his playstyle if you manage his health and move set, so expect to see me and many other players playing as him during this season. Moving on to our favorite Ugnaught, Slingshot. I feel like Slingshot went under the radar for a lot of players considering he is the last hunter that you unlock in the Hunter's Path. So many players didn't give him a good enough shot to play with and learn how much of a beast he can be. This is also me included, to be fair. I haven't given much time to Slingshot as I found more enjoyment from obviously Diago, Utuni, Xayna, and a little bit of Reeve here and there. His shield will be decreased from 300 to 275 as a level 1 ability. Levels 2 and 3 see a drop from 325 to 300 hit points. And finally, a level 4 through 6 shield will only be 325 hit points from 350. Also, when his shield explodes, the death damage will be toned down as well. Levels 1 and 2 down from 50 to 40, levels 3 and 4 dropping from 55 to 45, and levels 5 and 6 jumping down from 60 to 50 hit points. I feel like the death damage wasn't too necessary-eyed. Rather, they put those points into the shield nerf, but overall another change needed for Slingshot, as he has a lot of great high DPS abilities, including his ultimate. So him being less tanky for him, parking his Droideka on control points, is a huge buff to everyone else. Up next, we got another highly anticipated nerf to, I'd say, the second best hunter in the game, and definitely the best healer in the game, Skora. The problem with Skora was her being able to constantly and consistently heal other teammates during battle, mainly tanks like Sentinel. So basically you have a damn near infinite Sentinel on the field, trying to wipe the enemy squad. Me as a Diago player would always try to take out the Skora first, then focus on the others, because it doesn't matter how much damage you do if they're constantly being healed up by a Skora. Her dart gun she uses to heal teammates and damage other hunters will be getting an ammo capacity reduction from 12 to 10 rounds before she has to reload. This is a great nerf, but I would also have liked to see the healing HP for her team be downgraded as well, but this is a good balance for her. Skora's ultimate ability, the Unstable Cocktail, which the name also reminds me of a buddy in college who I haven't seen since he made someone an unstable cocktail one night, is getting a much-needed nerf. When she plops down that big cloud of damage for the other team and also healing for her team, they are both getting reduced from 20 to 15 hit points each tick. This is much needed, as being in that cloud for more than what feels like 2 seconds is a death sentence for most hunters. Her ability pretty much made it impossible at times for the other team to stand on capture points and power control, and especially hills and dynamic control. It's kinda like some dude ripping a smelly one when you get into an elevator and you have 10 more floors to reach before you can get off. Just all around an unpleasant time. Speaking of smelly hairy dudes, let's have a chat about Grozz. Grozz at first glance playing seems like a top-tier hunter because of his large HP pool and his ability to regenerate of his health back. As most players went on, Grozz didn't get much love because he has to be pretty much on top of you to get damage, as his only ranged ability is his ultimate, and even that boulder is unpredictable to hit some players. His mobility is also super slow, which is understandable, but it makes it hard for him to get his hands on certain hunters like Aran Tal, or hunters with grapples like Amara and Diago. The damage reduction when he uses his health regenerative war cry will be drastically increased. Level 1 ability goes from 0% to 35%, Level 2 and 3 will see an increase from 10% to 40%. Levels 4 and 5 going from a wimpy 15% to a hefty 45% increase, and finally Level 6 is seeing an increase from 25% damage reduction to a large 50% topping. Take notes, Chipotle. This looks like a massive buff for Grozz. I think it's much needed, and it looks like he'll be a great sponge on control points. This might be too much, but it's only a buff for one of his abilities, so it shouldn't be too much of a game changer where he dominates every game, so we'll see where it takes us. Watch out on maps like Vespera Row. I bet Grozz will do some heavy lifting on that map. Last and very much least, we have Sprocket. His acceleration speed will be increased, which is defined as the time it takes for his Walmart scooter cart to reach maximum movement speed. Sprocket is the hunter I have touched on least in this game so far, so I don't want to give too much of an opinion on how much this would impact his performance. But at least we got some sort of buff for him, but I don't expect everyone to all of a sudden be playing Sprocket than what they've already had this past season. That's all for the balance changes regarding our dear hunters. Leave a comment what nerf/buff you think would be most impactful and what changes you would still like to see. For me personally, the Sentinel and Skora nerf will definitely shake up the meta, and we'll probably be seeing a lot more Grozz and the new hunter K-AOS in the mix. I still would love to see them bring back Zayna's grenade because I believe she needs more DPS to her kit, as she's basically all healing, which I get because she's a support unit. But Skora and Sprocket have a lot more DPS potential, so that would be great to implement again. I'm glad my favorite hunters Diago and Utuni didn't get touched because I feel like they have way too much DPS overall, and I wouldn't mind seeing a slight nerf to them, especially Utuni. But let's keep my mouth shut and not be that one kid in class who reminds the teacher we're supposed to have homework, and move on to the next topic at hand. This season is introducing a new map, Vader's Castle. This will take place on the fiery depths of hell, known as Mustafar, where hunters will discover the mysterious strongholds of Lord Vader. Sith artifacts, holocrons, and holograms will be plentiful. Not gonna lie, this looks like the best map in this game so far. I watched YouTuber Parallel's gameplay of this map, and the map design with each room looks perfectly crafted, and a lot of passion went into this one. The outside environment of the lava, inside having the giant hologram of Darth Vader's mask, and let's not forget the glimpse of Vader's meditation chamber, which was shown in Empire Strikes Back. and much more will all be available for us to battle against each other on. I provided a link in the description to Parallel's video if you want to check it out more and have your mouth water as much as mine. I can tell there is going to be a lot of Easter eggs and special finds on this map, so I can't wait to check it out. I will be uploading my own gameplay here soon. That's pretty much all I wanted to touch on here in this video. The rest of the article depicts more cosmetic items, such as a legendary Xena skin at the end of the Battle Pass, a Vader-inspired Reeve skin, and much more. A slight issue I had this season was the price of some of the skins being a bit over the top for what you get. But them being a company with a free-to-play game, they gotta make their money somehow, so I can't complain too much about skins. We also have the option to purchase Fame Grant to apply to hunters to increase their levels instantly. In my current shop, I am able to spend 200 crystals to unlock 4,000 Fame, which isn't a bad way to get your Fame up, but looks like you can only purchase once on a given week. It looks like we will also find much-needed uses for our credits to spend on various cosmetics, replacing the daily calendar reward. The rest is pretty much quality of life updates for UI and all that, which is also well needed. So once again, check out the article for all that information. I think I want to wrap up the video here by talking a little bit about my experience with the first season launch here with Hunters. I didn't start playing Hunters until a couple weeks since the Season 1 launch, and I've had a blast since then uploading these gameplay videos and learning how to play different Hunters. The grind to Kyber 1 took a lot out of me as a solo queue player, but the accomplishment and rewards along the way definitely kept me pumped. I wish they could implement some sort of solo queue matchmake system, or at very least make it so you can only duo queue with players once you reach Kyber, or something similar. I would also like more consistency regarding updates on the coming seasons because a lot of players, myself included, after grinding ranked and the battle pass, we didn't have much to look forward to at the moment beside the weekly events, which, keep in mind, I enjoyed a lot of, especially Hutball. You gotta bring that game mode into rank at some point. We're not asking for much, just maybe a tweet here or there about the new season, or some sort of gameplay trailer on YouTube for us to talk about and keep us excited. I want to see Zynga market this game as much as they can so every Star Wars fan can enjoy how great this game has been and hopefully get us a cross-console and a PC release at some point. I know that's a lot to ask for, so we'll take it one season at a time. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more gameplay, and let me know if you enjoyed these breakdown videos. This is kind of out of my comfort zone. I'm too used to slapping some music on gameplay and calling it a day, so your support to me is appreciated as well. This is Avenue signing off.